So I saw they was on Mama Drama. They was talking about so on Mama Drama they was talking.
Shout out Mama Drama.
Yeah, they were talking about last names. Yeah, and how do you think a child's last name should automatically like be the dad's kind of thing? And I was thinking, well, yeah. But then I was thinking, yeah, but what if the dad didn't want that kid? Which is kind of messed up, yeah, because...
But that wouldn't happen. They wouldn't be fighting for that name. This is more like...
No, but they wouldn't be fighting for it, but...
They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care, no, but then would they even want the child to have that name?
I don't think the dad would care. I think this is more if there's two people... And they're co-parenting and they're not together, but they both want to parent the child.
So for me, I guess I'm just thinking as a man, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, of course, I want the child to have my name.
Okay.
Could they have the mum's name?
Hyphenated?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
But they definitely have to have my name. Like, could you imagine a child, you being with your wife? Let's say it's your wife.
Yeah, but
maybe it's not your wife.
No, but they're not talking about the wife.
Let's say it's not your wife.
You're co-parenting. You're not with the girl.
Okay, you're co-parenting, and
if you're a wife,
100%. If you're co-parenting and you're not with the girl, yeah.
Okay.
What do you think though? Because for me, it's like it's an easy yeah. Because it's my child.
It's not an easy yeah for me.
Why?
Do you deserve for that child to have your name?
But that's what I'm saying. Well, listen, you allowed me to bust a nut in you. And as far as I know, yeah, especially on Mama Drama, shout out Mama Drama, they was like, if a man is willing to do his thing, then he should be looking after the child and taking responsibility. So as far as I'm concerned, if I'm taking responsibility for that child and I'm funding that child's needs, as the man, the provider, I expect them to have my name. I don't expect to be having to fight over that. I think that's madness.
I think if you are providing and you are doing your job, I think you have a valid argument. But
when are you going to know that?
No, I think if you are an active dad and you are in that child's life as a full-time dad, or at least equal 50-50, like a full-time dad, maybe not with them every day, but full-time, then yes, you have a valid argument for that. But they're saying, should it automatically be that?
But that's at birth, isn't it? Because you give the child's name 2 weeks after, so...
Yeah, but you'll know at birth what that guy's like. If he's not there with you...
I don't know,
you don't even know you're in labour.
I don't know. There's some men that are there and then after a couple of weeks, they're gone. Or a couple of months, they're gone.
You kind of know, though.
You think?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not
being funny. I don't know. Women are
not thick. Women are not thick.
I don't know. Okay, I'm not saying women are thick.
No, women act on emotion and they ignore it. They always know.
Right.
They always know. They're not thick, they just ignore.
Right, okay.
That's different.
Okay.
They always, you know the kind of guy you're dating.
Okay.
You know the kind of guy you're dating.
Yeah. Because sometimes the guy is making it clear, he's showing signs that he's not going to be around and you're still hoping.
But even like, we were talking, funny, we're talking on Mama Drama and we said that on that show and I was like, I think I was speaking to Shells on there and she was like, you know, it's a committed relationship. I said, what about is committed? What's a committed relationship? What, you live in the same house and you have sex? What about that is his commitment to you? See, women need to learn, what you need to learn, if you're listening, yeah? Women need to learn the difference between a man who is committed to you and a man who is hanging around because there's food and sex on the table.
Jeez.
Am I lying? Tell me if I'm lying. Men will hang around for regular food and sex.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're committed to you. They might even be loyal. Like they might even be loyal. Like when I say loyal, let me rephrase the word because we've got to be careful. They might be faithful. They might be faithful to you in the sense that they're not having sex with anyone else, but that doesn't mean they're loyal to you or they're committed to you because when another better option comes, they will leave you and go with someone else.
Agreed.
That doesn't mean they're having more than one person at once. They might be sexually faithful, but they are not committed in a relationship. And women need to understand the difference. And when we tell women that, they don't like hearing it, but it's the truth. You need to understand the difference between a man who's committed to you and a man who is hanging around because there's food and sex on offer regularly. And plenty of men are creatures of habit. There's food and there's sex, they'll hang around. They'll hang around because there's nothing better to do. That's the best option at the time. They will do that. And you also got to understand, and we say this all the time, a man having a baby with you has no bearing on his commitment to you as a woman. None. He's not committed to you, he's committed to having a baby. That is a different thing altogether. He wants a baby and you're a vessel through which he can have a baby. He doesn't care about you, he wants a baby. He doesn't want you. If he wanted you, he'd marry you first. And it's as simple as that. Men show commitment through provision, not through sexuality or sensuality or intimacy. They show it through provision. Women will show their commitment to a man from sexual exclusivity.
But you say they show it through provision, but you have to be careful with certain men when they're earning a certain amount, because it's easy, to show commitment through provision because they have the means.
I know what you're saying, but I'm not saying provision like they just buy you stuff. That's not what I'm saying. Provision is make like you're under them. They provide for you under them. Your provisions are their provisions.
Right, okay.
It's one way of showing it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, there's guys who've got money and they might throw you a Rolex and you think, oh, he's buying me gifts, but they might be throwing 10 girls a Rolex.
Yeah.
But are you under his umbrella? When he introduces you, does he introduce you as his friends? This is my woman, this is my wife. Are you with him on his whatever social media, whatever it is? Do you know what I mean? Are you providing for her? Is he paying your rent? Do you live under his roof? Does he pay for you to live with him? I'm not talking about a guy who just throws you change or throws you a nice little bag, or even the really rich guys. I know girls that will be with really rich guys, I'm sure. Do you know what I mean? They might throw him a Birkin bag or whatever, but that doesn't mean anything to him.
No.
He's not giving you his provisions.
But
he's throwing loose change at you.
And he knows that it will mean something
to her.
Yeah.
You got to know the difference, and this is what you got to learn. Like, you might get a guy who earns 10 million and throw you a Birkin bag, and you think that's more committed than the guy who earns 40 grand working in a warehouse, but he'll come back and give you his paycheck and say, pay all the bills with it, make sure all the bills are sorted, lose the rest for groceries, whatever's left, put it in account. That man is showing you commitment, not the guy who's just throwing you a Birkin bag. You understand? So women need to understand the difference. Men certainly don't show loyalty or commitment from sexual exclusivity necessarily. Some might. I'm not saying every guy is not faithful. There's lots of faithful guys. There's lots of good men that are faithful as well. But faithful is different to committed. There's different, because if it all faithful, committed, and loyalty are three different things. They're related, but they're different. Because if they were the same thing, they wouldn't have three words from in the dictionary. They're all a bit different.
That's fair.
Now, I can be faithful sexually, but not be committed, because as soon as someone else comes, I leave. You understand? But I'm faithful sexually, as I'm not having multiple partners at once. Or I might be not faithful sexually, but I'm totally loyal to you. If anything happens, you're the one I'll choose. But I'm not faithful, but I'm loyal. There's different words for it, and people need to understand it's not all the same thing. Yes, you can get guys that are faithful and loyal and committed, or you can get ones that are one of the three or two of the three. But women need to understand the difference when they just ask for stuff like, I want commitment. The only commitment a man is going to give you is when he brings you under his umbrella with regards to his provisions and his protection. If he's going to die for you, do you know what I mean? If anything happens, if he's going to put you first, if he's going to make sure his money is your money. And the one way you can do that, the ultimate way you can show that to the woman, especially these days in this climate, is to marry them. Because once you marry them, you're saying, listen, even if you decide to leave, you have half my stuff. That's commitment.
That's a massive commitment in this time and age.
But there's people, but you know what? We say that, people get married all the time. It's very much a young thing, and it's with the culture, unfortunately, where it's more like, it's, you're listening to all these red pill guys saying there's no business sense to getting married. No, there's not. There isn't any. But what you are showing is commitment to all of
Yes,
it.
100%.
But yeah, you're right. As a business move, it's terrible to get married. You know, you get certain tax breaks or whatever. But yeah, really, all the risk is on the man.
It's quite funny. There was some Brazilian MMA girl. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah.
Her. And she got with a
Mackenzie.
guy,
Mackenzie
and,
Dern, yeah.
and he's doing her
For Alama, because she earns more.
Yeah,
which is
that's
unusual.
hilarious.
Which is unusual for her to be the breadwinner.
It's so funny, yeah. It's not funny her situation,
But it's
normal.
funny
because the way they're talking about it, it's like they're like, "This is crazy. This is insane."
This happens
I'm thinking,
all the time.
all the time.
All
man.
the time.
It happens all the time.
Welcome
men.
to our life.
But they're so shocked by it.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh my gosh, we can't believe it." I'm like, mate, this is standard procedure.
Standard. Do you know what I think on this? My view on this. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know if it can be enforced or how it could be policed. I reckon if you're married, the person that leaves half their stuff and goes. They don't take half the other person's stuff. If you leave half your stuff and go.
You leave half your stuff and
You
go.
don't take half of mine. If you want to leave, you leave half of yours in the relationship and leave. If I leave half of mine in the relationship and leave. I don't leave and take half of your stuff as well. I don't leave with all my stuff and take half of yours. It's the other way around. If you want to leave, it's fine. Leave half your stuff and go.
There
That
was
will
a,
stop divorces, man.
Well, apparently there was a thing that they're doing now in, I forgot what country.
Yeah,
but
I saw it.
It's like 50%.
Yeah, you don't just get
of the what's it called with
Yeah.
your child.
Alimony.
Like you have like is it alimony? What is it?
child support and alimony.
Yeah, so like you split it 50-50.
Yeah.
And that's reduced divorces by like 30%.
It has, and that's good. But also, then you think the person's staying with you for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're only staying with you because they can't afford not to.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times,
I think that's the case a lot of the time anyway.
And I was speaking about this to someone the other day. I was like, usually people stay with someone who they're not totally happy with. Sometimes they stay because it's just an insecurity thing, or they're just with the wrong person. But sometimes people stay with someone who's not a bad person, but there's just no love there.
Yeah.
Sometimes people stay there. Sometimes it's because they don't want to be alone. A lot of people just don't want to be alone.
Yeah, the comfort.
Sometimes it's a financial thing because you're in a house.
I think a
and
lot
you're
of the
sharing
time it's a
rent.
financial thing,
Yeah.
especially in these times in the UK anyway.
Yeah, and in the first world, the cost of living is high. So it's financial, and sometimes just using the person. The person is useful to be around. And sometimes it can be a bit of all three. Sometimes you keep someone around because they're useful.
Yeah.
Especially with men. I think women are guilty of this more than guys.
Keeping men around?
In this particular instance, I think sometimes women do keep around guys that are just useful.
Yeah.
He can fix the shelves, he fixed my car, fills up my petrol. He's pretty unoffensive, as in he's got nothing majorly going for him, but also, you know what I mean? And I've been in that situation.
But that's funny that you say that, because what I think is the useful aspect of things for me, definitely with women, is friendships. So like as a man, I don't think women are much use as a friend, personally.
Yeah.
I think the only benefit you could probably get to a certain extent is maybe access to other women based on the fact that you're around a certain type of woman, potentially.
Women are great wingmen.
Yeah.
If you're with a woman and you go and chat a girl up,
Yeah.
you've already been almost pre-approved. Because what she can say is another woman's around you, which means you're not a predator.
Yeah.
And you're not crazy.
Yeah,
So women are great, women are great wingmen.
they can definitely boost
As
you
a
up a
friend.
little bit like that, but I still think that you can get that from men.
You can.
If you're around,
It's easier with a woman.
If you're in a social setting
Yeah.
and that a woman sees that there's a lot of men
Yeah.
that respect you
Yeah.
and whatever,
Yeah.
you don't need a woman
Yeah.
to be hanging around with you, to be honest. And depending on how things look, it's just like it's a little bit of a red flag when a good-looking woman is coming up to maybe another female saying, "Oh, my friend likes you," and I don't know. I think it's a bit.
I don't even
techie
think she
sometimes.
needs to be a wingman like that. I think just seeing you around women
I
makes
think-
you less of a threat.
It does. It does.
So they have the benefit. I'm a bit different because in my life I've had very good female friends. I don't have a lot now. I don't have a lot of friends. As I'm getting older, I have less people in my life because especially when you're a driven person, you lose a lot of people. But in my life, I've had some very good female friends. And I still have one or two. I don't have many female friends, but I have one or two. But the one benefit with them is, if they're true, honest, genuine friends, they will give you the lowdown on women that only women know.
Well,
I've had women before tell me, and I'm like, I think she likes me, and she's like, she don't, mate. Do you know what I mean? And they'll be honest with you. I'll go, what makes you say that? And like, if that was me and I was behaving like that on a man, it's because I'm not really into him, but I'm waiting for someone else to come back, and I'm just you know what I mean? And sometimes, just the way men sometimes need to tell women, listen, he doesn't like you. I'm telling you, because if I was doing that to a woman, it means I'm just using her for sex or whatever. The same way, sometimes men need a woman, but it has to be truly platonic. It's like having a big sister tell you, listen, she doesn't like you.
The chances of it being truly platonic are very low.
That's different. That's what I'm saying. But it needs to be platonic, because if you can get that genuine platonic relationship, because if she likes you secret or you like her secret, she might still get a bit jealous, innit, when you're with other girls. Or even if she doesn't like you, she just doesn't want you. She wants the attention on her, not on the other girl, whether she wants you or not. But if you can have a genuinely respectful platonic relationship with a girl, which is possible, it's not as normal, but it is possible, they can really give you the real lowdown on women and advise you genuinely on how to get girls and really advise you. But the chances of it are low. And most men, like I say, and that's the one or two things as friends, but I don't know if women make the best friends. And I only say this because I notice, like, men, when we have friends, we've had friends for 20 years, 30 years. A lot of our friends we've known for many years. We don't really break up with friends as men. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
there's a few people you might stop talking to because...
I think there's a lot less pressure on friendships with men as well.
Whereas with women, it's like they're best friends 1 minute, the next minute they're arguing, the next minute they're not talking. They might have one or two friends that they've known for 10, 15 plus years.
It's a bit more roller coaster.
Yeah, whereas men, most of our friends, how long you known them for? 10, 15, 20 years. They're still mates. We might not talk all the time, but we're all right. And we don't fight with our boys a lot. Have you noticed? Men don't really argue.
Nah.
For you to argue with your mate, it has to be something really bad.
Yeah, and then if you're arguing, it's like there's potential of a fight kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think with girls, it's a lot of shouting and screaming and...
But not even like the shouting and screaming aspect, even just not getting on and being like having a disagreement. With guys, we can kind of talk it out.
But I think we do want to talk it out because we don't want it to get to the shouting and screaming, because then
so
we know
kind of
things escalate. And we know when, I think men naturally, when we see things escalating, we know where it can lead to.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's something.
So I think we like to try and maintain things at a level where it's actually amicable rather than getting to a point where things are out of hand.
And also, not being funny, and I know some of the women won't like us saying this, but women say, men are the problem in the relationships. If that was the case, lesbian relationships would have the lowest rate of divorce.
And they've got the highest.
The highest. Do you know who's got the lowest? Okay. Gay men, where there's no women involved. Do you know what I mean? You know who's got the second highest? Men and women, where there is a woman involved, but also men. But if men were truly the problem, then why do lesbian relationships have the highest rate of divorce? Genuine question, if anyone can answer that. If men are the problem, why are gay male relationships got the lowest form of divorce? Because two guys, when you think of compatibility, it's perfect. You're not going to argue. You're going to have similar things. You're not emotional, or maybe you are emotional, but do you know what I mean? You're less emotional.
Yeah.
You're just two dudes hanging out who happen to find other men physically attractive. But you're a couple of guys hanging out. And male friendships are better. Do you know what I mean? And longer lasting. And so it makes sense in a way. And when you see women how they are with other women and they're always falling out with their friends and their relatives, you know what I mean? They're just always having bickering contests. It doesn't surprise me. Do you know what I mean? That lesbian relationships are highest divorce, but they shouldn't really, should they? If we listen to women who say men are always the problem.
Yeah, it's not true.
I'm not saying men aren't sometimes the problem. And I'm not saying that men don't and women don't stay.
But I think everyone can be challenging in some aspects. It's just about...
Of course they can. But if it was just a problem with men, then surely when there's no man involved, that would be the most successful marriages.
Exactly.
and it's not. It's actually the highest rate of divorce. So
So it
explain
shows
that.
there's a little bit more to it than just that.
Explain that to me. Someone make that make sense. The kids saying it, make sense.